Ronan here again, and I've been seeing some memes going around recently about how Peacemaker is a pay-to-win character, how he's basically better than all the characters in the game and gets free stuff that cameos give, and while I think it's a little bit funny and not entirely true of a sentiment, I do think it highlights how MK1 really does need some help, and I just wanted to point out that this is very obvious as a Rain player, because if you weren't aware, and I'm sure if you play Rain you are, Peacemaker is basically completely just a better version of Rain. Not just a better character, a better version of Rain. Everything that Rain has that is kind of good, Peacemaker has, and has better. And I think that's kind of weird. Okay, so Rain's a bit of a projectile-y guy. He's got a regular high projectile, a mid projectile, a low projectile that leads to combos, and an anti-air projectile. They all are safe or slightly plus, but they all take 40 or 50 or more frames to hit the opponent. Meanwhile, Peacemaker has a high projectile that is safe and way faster on block, and it can also be amplified in a useful way that actually leads to combos, whether you're close and using it as a combo tool, or a great combo extender, or you're just using it full screen to get a bunch of damage off of a projectile. It's pretty great, unlike Rain, who can amplify only one of his projectiles, and it does nothing except push the opponent a little further away. A mid projectile that is faster and way safer on block that it's actually plus from full screen. A low projectile that, just like Rain, also leads to combos, and is also safe from full screen. An anti-air projectile that is much faster and can be used to go into combos meterlessly. Very easily, that's probably not even optimal. On top of his great zoning, he's something that Rain doesn't have, and that's a teleport, a nice mobility option, and he can either use it to splat down with a safe overhead, but if you're scared of being uplocked, well, you can just cancel it and go for a low or a throw. So really, there's not that much commitment, and once again, you can use it as a way to go into combos. And finally, he has a Reflect. Oh wait, that seems like something similar to what Rain has, let's compare. Rain has this absorbing bubble that lasts for exactly a second half, or he can amplify it to follow him, and it lasts exactly 2 seconds. Peacemaker, on the other hand, has one that has better startup and recovery and lasts for a while longer. We can't see exactly how long, but if I have Rain do his bubble and then activate my shield, so it's definitely afterwards, you can see it lasts for about double the time. It also follows Peacemaker for free, which Rain has to spend meter for, and even when he does that, it still lasts double the time. Peacemaker can also easily nullify multi-hitting projectiles like Reiko's, which Rain certainly cannot. And as we get closer, we start to see that Peacemaker also has the same pokes as Rain, and in ranges where Rain's down 3, which is his best button, will whiff, Peacemaker's down 3 will also whiff. So they have the same range and are also both minus 12 on block. So Peacemaker just has Rain's best button. And unlike Rain, who can only jail it into his unsafe geyser, Peacemaker has a bunch of options to make the opponent stop mashing. For example, he can go into Eagly, which is just a safe mid that he can use half the time. And even if he does try to jail into something a little bit more risky, those actually lead into combos, unlike Rain, leaving himself completely punishable for almost nothing. So Peacemaker can either just leave himself completely safe, or risk it for a combo. He can even go for a low that lets him go for a combo, which is risky and is, once again, it is minus, just like Rain's. But when Peacemaker goes for minus things, he actually gets reward from it, which is not something we can say the same as Rain. Now, you might be saying, well, Rain has this safe launching overhead. That's, one of the best strings in the game. It's really strong, and Peacemaker doesn't really have that kind of mix overhead low starters. Well, that is true, but in return, he gets 50-50 mix-ups in the middle of his strings that lead to full combos, and that are also completely safe depending on how you use them. He gets multiple plus on block strings and moves to just absolutely beat you up pressure-wise, and if he does ever commit to anything that's slightly unsafe, well, luckily he has a safe special move to cover your ass. And most of this pressure is actually genuine, and he doesn't rely on gimmicky resets like Rain to jail you into things, although he does have that if he wants to, but he really doesn't need to because his pressure is good enough on its own. And that doesn't even get to the fact that when you do decide to get hit by him, you take a ton of damage without him spending any meter. So these were just some of the examples that show how Peacemaker is not only a better character than Rain, he's a better version of Rain. He literally does everything that Rain could do, but better. And I think that speaks a lot, and I don't think the solution is to nerf Peacemaker. I think there are things about him that could be nerfed slightly, like his damage, but I think this just really highlights how we have to put a lot of effort, or not we, but NetherRealm has to put a lot of effort in buffing and overhauling the characters that already exist, because there is a lot of weird characters in this game that have basically no place, because they just aren't good enough. Whether that's main characters like Rain, or cameos, there is a lot of useless stuff in this game that really needs to be thought about, because characters like Peacemaker and Chameleon kind of make you question why you would pick anything else.